Hello, folks of YouTube. I'm Essel. Welcome back to Ace Attorney Justice for All, Episode 4, Farewell My Turnabout. Here we go, back into the trial. I'm very nervous because we're putting Adrian on the stand, and I don't want to do this. Like, this is one of the most, oh no, I don't want to do this situations we've had in the series so far. I really don't want to cross-examine her. I just, oh man, it's going to be brutal, and like, I don't want to do that. What's up, Shrew? Yeah, I know. Wizards of the Coast is personally going to be sending people in to take away their D&D 5e books and replace them with PDFs of the one D&D system. They did announce some sort of wild Unreal Engine-powered digital experience thing that should be really interesting. Dude, I can't believe that Adrian. No, not cool and collected Adrian Andrews. She is your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. Yeah, let's accuse the trauma victim of murder, said Phoenix, right? She could have done it, but like, the reason why it's not, I don't want to, it's not that I want to not uncover the murder, it's just that like, we have like horrific information about like dark parts of her history, and like, I don't want to put that out in front of the court. I don't want to do that. The only person that easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her. So after the ceremony during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time. See, she could have also easily planted the blood-covered button in your comma. Because she was the one that came to wake me up. Then, dude, you're saying it really was her? Yeah, she's the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Corrida. But why? I thought she was buds with Juan. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today. Give me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude? Phoenix, you think her motive is related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right? Yes. Ms. Andrews depended on Ms. Impacts as her strength and reason to live. But then Ms. Impact suddenly killed herself. Great time I picked just to drink some water, huh? It sounds like she left the suicide note and the person thought to have hidden it is Juan Corrida, the victim of the murder. And that's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Corrida, all to get the suicide note back. It sounds plausible, but one thing bothers me. What? Who was it that first told us about the relationship? Better stated, Ms. Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Ms. Impacts. It was Edgeworth. Looks like he's still the one in the command of this ship. Don't let your guard down yet. They were too cowardly to set it on March 22nd at 2:22. I see how it is. I see how it is. Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please. The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime, is Mr. Juan Corrida's room. Okay, here we go. Look, she shows the card. Okay. What is your occupation? I am the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt Ongard. I see. Now then. Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request. Yes, sure. What is it? I'm sure everyone in the room is wondering the same thing, and would love to find out more about the relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently. No, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossip Land. Judge is ever a prosecution witness, you'd do all my work for me. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relationship with the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Corrigan. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan, but this was a private matter between Juan and myself. So is it a fry and bait matter, or is that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing. What? But I didn't kill him. No one is accusing you of that. I think there's someone who would beg to differ. I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Ms. Andrews. Very well, then. Witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. dun. When I found the body. Here we go. It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room, and there was his dead body. I was in shock. What I saw was, naturally, the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. Felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. Word? You poured yourself a glass of juice? Yes. Sadly, I didn't remember to not to touch things at the scene of a crime. And I disturbed the crime scene to move this one thing. And that is when the fingerprints in the wine glass are made, Your Honor. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Phoenix. She is one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match. Yeah, I know. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing. Okay. Disrupt her pacing? She's the type of woman who is easily thrown out by things inconsistent with her thinking. So you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense, the instant this trial's over. Understand? Okay. Constant offensive. I'm a switch axe player. I understand. It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. No? No, it was. Oh, I guess it kind of was. And what was Mr. Ongard doing at the time? He was taking a nap. Okay, so this is real. He was worn out from his mini performance with Nickel Samurai during the ceremony. Mr. Ongard did say he was taking a nap. Then I guess you could say he could not have been taken out of his room, yes? Excuse me? What are you... Right. I thought years of school would have taught you to construct a sentence. Yeah, it's basically Monster Hunter, same publisher. Yeah, they did really just... I mean, like, this is a much better version of 1.3. If this is the apology for 1.3, that's fine. Because, like, this case slaps. If you can't make a sensible sentence with the subject, then I'll make one for you. Watch. Did you, Ms. Andrews, remove Mr. Ongard's knife from his room? No. Subject, verb, object, right. Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue. Boom. After that, I went to Juan's room. What if 1.3 but good? That's what I'm saying. And why did you do that? As a friendly gesture, Juan was making an appearance with the other heroes. So the show was supposed to be a show of friendship, huh? Don't let up on the offense. Is that the only reason? I beg your pardon? What are you implying? You had a certain goal in mind when you started to get close to him, correct? So perhaps you had a more personal matter to discuss with the victim? Dual Destinies DLC is 2-3 but good. Is that the infamous clown from Twitter? Actually, in this game's original language, it would be subject, object, verb, Mitsurugi-san. Exactly. I'm sorry, we didn't have any such intentions in mind at that time. I can get talked about some piece of evidence, I guess. May we continue now? Witness, what did you see when you got to his room? And there was his dead body. I was in shock. You were in shock? What? Was I not supposed to be? Miss Andrews is a very calculating person. And despite how close they were, I doubt she got romantic feelings for Mr. Korida. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. And you can't seriously expect a young beauty like her would not be shocked. Spirit of justice, okay. Somehow I don't think beauty had anything to do with being shocked or not. I see. What I saw was, naturally, the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. This is the photo you're referring to, correct? Yes, not the nice lodge in his chest. And the guitar case is like this too. Yes, it was open and empty, of course. And then what did you do next, witness? Is that from Dual Destinies, Ozzy, or? I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. Juice? Yeah, there's a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself. What? But you didn't drink any of it, did you? Huh? There were no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it. I wasn't feeling terribly great, so set the glass down without drinking it. Ms. Andrews, I'd like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Corrida, you were in great shock. And that's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct? And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at the time. Your mind was a complete blank. Didn't think that was possible for you. Aren't you rude today? Was so dazed I made one careless mistake, that one thing. What one thing? Never mind, it's no big deal. What were you starting to say just now? Mia said don't let up. Ms. Andrews. I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was. Actually, so would I. I'm sorry, it's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over. The flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? Oh dear. This mess of glass shards? It's originally on top of the dresser, but when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case. Why did you withhold such an important piece of information? I'm sorry, I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, people would simply assume the face was just another part of the mess. You're right. But it looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add if there's anything else you have to reveal to your testimony. I'm sorry, but nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else. How did it open then? Let's press first, then we'll hit it with the evidence, I think. What kind of flower vase was it? It was a glass vase and it was fairly big and heavy. I thought I'd try to take Juan's pulse, so I set the glass I was holding down onto the dresser, and that's when my elbow hit the vase. It's odd, I thought she was always in total control of herself. That's what she would like people to think. Always be mindful of the gap between your perception and reality. It doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradictions in her testimony just now. I warned you earlier she wouldn't crack so easily. The way to make her is to keep on the events and not let up. Okay. Very strong, decisive evidence. For Maya's sake. Okay, this is the contradiction. Open and empty guitar case. Only water on top of it. She had to open it. I'm going to present the guitar case in the last piece here. This should be good enough. Let's go. You testified you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct? Yes. And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case? Is there some problem with what I said? It's not some problem, it's a major problem. If I was about to faint and poured myself a glass of tomato juice to help, I'd probably only be expediting the fainting process. I agree. Tomato juice? If you're feeling faint, like, what are you doing? I get, like, even if you like it, it's like acidic and like, it's not, you don't need that. That's not what you need at the time. However, that's not what is so strange. Ms. Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that was true, The case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside. Maybe he skips one line of just saying the guitar case was open when the stage was set here. That's very true. Furthermore, there's one other strange thing about the guitar case. And what is that? Well, let's take a look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. Then what's wrong with that? If the card case was open when the vase fell, the glass shard should be inside, not outside the case. Ah! What is your point, right? The case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over. Is that all? No, think back to what Ms. Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else. Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case. But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. There's no bearing in this case at all. That may very well be, however... it seems to have no relation to the case, doesn't it? It seems there's no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the case? Yes. The empty guitar case... I believe this is the crucial piece of the puzzle. Otherwise, she wouldn't have opened it. Heh. I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you. We've been doing this either. Alright, I'll follow along for now. Ms. Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case. Yes, Your Honor. Always be grasping. ABG. That's the true meaning of Ace Attorney. Always be grasping. It remembered too clearly because I was a bit dazed. Suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over? It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. That's why I opened it, even I don't know. That's very weird. It looks like this really wasn't a very important point. This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. Anyway, I'll go ahead and start the cross-examination. Using any way to change the topic, and a convenient escape for a weak man. Welcome back, edgy boy. Okay, a bit dazed. I don't want to press her on her being dazed. During your testimony just now, did you remember those events clearly in your mind? Well, you see. Are you sure you're the one who opened the guitar case? She's waiting for someone to tell her if she should answer or not. Sounds like her dependent side is taking over. Well, Ms. Andrews, yes, it was me. Shoot, it could be. Hey, I'm not a weak writer. I suppose I must open the case after I knocked the vase over. So you opened the guitar case then? Yes, well, maybe. Why did you open the guitar case? Huh? Mr. Corda's dead body was right there in front of you, wasn't it? I would think the first thing you would do is call for help, then open a guitar case. As the witnesses said multiple times when she found the dead body, she was dazed. Maybe I was curious to know if the bright red guitar was alright or not. I thought maybe the criminal took it. Why would she care about the bright red guitar? But getting back on topic. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. Was it really empty? Just wondering if maybe when you opened the case, the guitar was still inside. How long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? Have a little professionalism. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. These trials will be over in half the time if you just pay attention. Yeah, pay more attention, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry. I didn't want to. That's not what I asked. That's what Phoenix asked. Herlock Sholmes. Was that because you were shocked and... Oh, that's not... Well, you had the judge. Was that because you were shocked and dazed at discovering the victim's body? Yeah, that's probably it. I'm not gonna if I continue pressing it like this. Want to make your talk with evidence, I guess I should give it a try. I mean, come on, Phoenix, we can't afford to let up on her now. Wasn't planning on letting up, but... Okay. Yeah. Sure weapon is hiding somewhere in the court record waiting to be found. I hope so. Okay. After knock the vase over. I mean, we could, like, reach for straws here. Oh, poor Dick-Gum-Shoe. Just like the like double or triple ellipsis are so good. How do we square this fact with like the fact that we have photographic evidence of there being a nickel samurai in the hallway? How do we square this? Like, I just don't understand. This is a stretch. This is like 2 steps of a stretch. I think we can't do this. So there has to be a reason she opened the guitar case. Oh, so why were the cosmetics knocked over? Yeah, I'm engaging my, you know, we have to tone down the machinations a little bit because I'm thinking too 9-dimensionally. We have to understand, like, the odds that we have to reach, like, 3 steps of logic are very low. I think it might have happened once or twice, but, like, I don't think it's super likely that the answer here is because you were mad about Celeste and you were, like, this is just too many steps. Like, that makes sense. This tracks. If she opened it after she knocked the vase over, water's on top of the case, opens it up, no water. Easy. The case was empty after all. It doesn't bear her fingerprints. Why? I kind of want to just hit her with the case. That's like maybe not smart, but... Yeah, well, if we go with a quad PU ahead of them, that means that we're actually keeping pace. So, like, it's a good thing. We're just going really fast. I'm tempted to hit her with the case. We got some health left. Let's go. There is no way you were the one who opened the guitar case. Why would you say that? It's elementary, my dear. He's been waiting to say that his whole life. Because the only fingerprints on the guitar case are those of the victim. Ah! What is it, Miss Andrews? I'm learning. You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints because I touched the case. What do you mean? What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time? That implicates you even more. Gloves? Why would you be wearing gloves at the time? It was the night of the award ceremony, so of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime. That's strange because you left the fingerprints on the tomato juice glass. Wearing gloves, isn't that a little strange? Why is that strange? Something that'll prove he was not wearing gloves at the time? Easy clap. Take that. Got your proof right here. This wine glass. The wine glass? You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. Ah. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange that you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? Oh, her glasses broke? What? What? Help? 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 Did... What happened? What is she like? Is it Cyclops from X-Men who like needs the glasses to contain his immense laser powers? Is that what's up, Blake? How's it going? Is that what's happening here? She has to contain her incredible mental capabilities, her psychic powers, and her glasses shattered as a minuscule fraction of her total power just leaked through. Like what? Yeah, I carry a nice 10-pack of extra glasses all the time as well. Agree. Yeah. Ugin. There's so many good exclamations in Ace Attorney. Order, order, order! Looks like I hit the nail on the head this time. What do you mean? I believe the guitar case plays a very important role here. But it's just an empty case. I wonder if it really was empty, though. But the guitar! The Brevard guitar's at the studio. Her glasses hold her self-esteem. Oh. It's starting to make me sad, though, this whole interrogation, and it's gonna get worse, I think. Phoenix, drop all of your presumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar. I've been wondering if the suicide note was in there. You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? Wait, that's not right either. God, he's so dumb. How is he a lawyer? I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that, so the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that on the case... Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us all into his misguided... No, Your Honor. Please recall that Ms. Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it is wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I am sure that this case has some relation to the murder. Phoenix Himbo Red's gonna get to the bottom of this case business. Yeah, I mean, like, look, here he's smart. If you're so sure, right, then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? True, it's true. Yeah, because he's oftentimes very sarcastic, too. Please, enlighten us as to why this guitar case has anything to do at all with this murder. Can you do that, Mr. Wrights? Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case. The bright red guitar not being the only thing? You don't mean to suggest that a black guitar... He had the same thought. So you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty, is that it, right? I wouldn't say something I don't intend to prove. Deflate that head of yours, you haven't proven anything yet. Behold, I am one of simple mind, the judge says. Now then, let's have that. What was inside the case at the time of the murder? Oh, so I've been operating on the assumption that like, he was keeping the suicide note in there. That's maybe not a great theory in retrospect. It can have been Lada's camera. That doesn't make any sense. Could it have been a photo of the Nickel Samurai? No. Could it have been Nick's own attorney's badge? No. No. It could not have also... I mean, like, if it was Maya's Magatama, that'd be crazy. But that can't be it. Press conference ticket? I think unlikely as well. The transceiver we got from The Killer. I think present Wendy old bag. Yeah, old. Can you imagine? Yeah. I just imagine, if you will, for a moment. You're at the scene of a crime. You've witnessed the dead body of your business associate and potential romantic partner. You witnessed their corpse. You open his signature guitar case to look for information about your mentor's death, probably. And you find a security guard curled up in there. I also don't think it's Lada's camera. I don't think it's this. Get blasted. Exactly. I don't think it's the hotel guide map. I don't think the case was inside the case. This can't have been inside the case. This can't have been inside the case. This... like, also could not have been inside the case. This is all I got, I think. This is what I got. I mean, this is what I got. This is all I got. I mean, like, otherwise, if we have people, I mean, like, maybe it was Matt on guard inside of the case. I don't think that makes sense either, though. I think it's got to be this. I think it. Pearl, how could you? Pearl's inside the case. I'm nervous because I think we're still one step of logic too far away. But. And why would something like that be inside a guitar case, let alone this one? Why, Mr. Wright? Why? Well, okay. I said it was one step too far. I just thought it might have been possible. I have a suggestion. Why don't you put that in the void where your brain is supposed to be? Yes, never bring it out again. Okay. Can't a foolish fool get some love? Shout out, Francisco. Do you still think you can prove your theory? Yeah, I guess so. Could you prove that it was not up to the time of the murder? Yeah, we have to... Okay. Things that actually could not have been 100%. It 100% could not have been this. It could not have been this 100%. Could not have been this 100%. This was handed to us. This was handed to us. None of these things could have been it. Just, like, factually. I find this deeply unlikely and basically impossible. It could not have been this. Unless it could have been. That'd be super weird, though. Where did we find the clipping? We'll come back to that. It does not make any sense. So the only thing so far that makes any sense is the clipping, maybe. The guitar case could not have been inside the guitar case. Neither could the glass. Yeah, I thought it was either Lada or Oldbag. I can't remember though. The photo of the crime scene, like, could not have been in the case. We know that. This could have been in the case. I find it relatively unlikely this and the knife both seem to make very little sense. Because... why? I guess, I mean, in the universe where, like, I guess there's a universe where Andrews is an accessory to murder. The button was put inside the case. She found it and was like, oh, I'm gonna frame On Guard. But she didn't actually kill Corrida. She was, like, doing cleanup. Or taking the fall for somebody. Those are also possible. This, factually, necessarily could not have been inside the case. It was published afterward. It's in his chest. I find it very hard to imagine this could have been in the case. This could not have been in the case. So we're down to the clipping and the button, I guess. I'm wondering if it's the button now? I'm trying to think of how that makes any sense. Why would she wouldn't need the clipping either. Like, there'd be no need for her to go looking for the clipping. It could be the button, I guess. So, like, at some point during the day, the button falls off. He puts it in the case for storage to repair the costume later. Andrews finds it, stabs Corrida to get blood and set up the framing. Smears the blood on the button, and then puts the button in the Hakama. In any case, that couldn't have been it. It's Juan's case. Yeah. The suicide note from Celeste Impacts, obviously, which it keeps very close to the chest, is what I was thinking. But A guitar? A button that fell off his costume is sounding more likely the more I talk about that. I don't think it's necessarily it though. But it's Juan's case. I'm trying to, that's why I'm confused. Ah, okay, thank you, sure. That actually helps a lot. We need to maybe reconsider thinking about that again now. If not all things in the court mean what is literally shown on the record, yeah. He could have... I mean, then he could have a press conference ticket if he was going to go to the show after this. This, again, I find very, like... Look at the names. Press conference ticket. Okay. Magazine clipping. Hotel guide map. Guitar case. Wine glass. Crime photo. Jammin' Ninja's button. Suicide report. Gun suicide report. Juan's autopsy report. Knife. Wada's photo. It could... Yeah, the Magatama was practical. Yeah, I agree. Welcome back, Hydra. It could be the press conference ticket. Like, he could certainly have one of those. But why would Andrews care at all? Would be my only problem. This one, if this is, like, supposed to be, generally speaking radio transceivers, that would be completely unhinged, so I don't think it can be that. It still can't be specifically Lada's camera. It could be a magazine clipping, but I don't think it's a copy of Gossip Land. That'd be very weird. The ticket and the button are things that stand out the most still. Answer to this answers the question I had a little while ago. Oh, jeez. We can make one more mistake. So, like, in the world where it's the press conference ticket, right? Like, this is in there. I know. So this is in there, right? And we go to... And he just has it? Like, why does Andrews care? Why does she care? I don't know. I don't think she cares. It could be in there, though. That's the thing that could be inside of it. Like, a ticket for the day. You're carrying the case with you as a case. That works. It can't be Lada's camera. It can't be Maya's microphone. It can't be Phoenix's attorney's bed. It can't be... I mean, it could be a photo of the Nickel Samurai. It could do a channel like that. But hold on. Could it be the Nickel Samurai? That'd be so weird. It couldn't be... But why? Nothing is clicking. Press conference ticket? It could be a hotel guide map. Why? Thank you, Hydra. I appreciate it. Good RNG time. It's redeemed to pray, yes. Yes. What if there was a wine glass inside of it, and that's why she poured the wine glass? But that doesn't make sense either. Thank you for your points offerings. The points gods are very pleased. I'm so close. I feel like I'm very close to understanding something. It would be hard to believe the wine glass was inside the guitar case. Like, why? Yeah, we could give it a try. We have health to burn. Like, right now, we're still at the point where if we lose one more point of health, we can still come back. The two things I think of the most are the press conference ticket for reasons of, like, it was in the box because he was carrying the guitar case, needed a place to put the ticket, there it goes. I don't get it. This might point towards the confession thing, though. I can't imagine crime photos talking about a different crime photo. Jamming Ninja's button for the same reason I can imagine being in the case. It's weird though. It's a little weird as to why it would be in the case, and then why Andrews would look for it. Man, I really. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I want to do a little bit more suffering, and then we'll figure it out. Those are the two things I think are standing out the most right now. Supper and despair. Yeah, I'm despairing a little bit. I'm gonna go with this maybe.
Take that!
Okay. I tried. I'm sorry. Okay, well, we got some health left. We got health left. We could take a stab in the dark and go with the press conference ticket as the other major thing that stands out from the thing so far. Now, if people are allowed here, all bets are off. Because it could also be like a picture of Adrian Andrews, for example. Like, what if it was a picture of Adrian Andrews? Or a picture of Celeste Impacts? A face of a loved one? The size of a guitar? No. New, very weird theory. Juan was in a Nickel Samurai outfit, went into his own room? Why would he be in the Nickel... Like, it could be a Nickel Samurai costume in the case. That's the new theory. Hold on, let me percolate about this. And we're thinking inside the box now. Because right now we have one big missing question mark is like, who was the Nickel Samurai in the hallway? Because so far, it doesn't seem like Andrews is wearing gloves. It'd be really weird for her taking gloves off to get her fingerprints all over the crime scene. Testified to not killing him. Would have been kind of weird of her to be in the costume. At this point. It's possible. I don't understand why he would have walked into his own room dressed as a Nickel Samurai and then took off the costume, put it in the guitar case. If there was a camera, but it's specific, like, it's Lada's camera. It's also not this. Salmonella was in the case? No. No. Just will be in the case. I don't understand. Yeah, no, that's fair. How could there have been a Steel Samurai costume in the case? Does this make any sense at all? If Sal, you guys got me confused now. If Juan is shorter than On Guard, he could be the one in the hallway. I do not know why that would be the case, though. Why would he be doing this? I guess that's not a big deal. If that's like, we're like 7 steps out, though, is my only problem right now. This one, I don't think gets us anywhere. No. No, it couldn't be. Adrian Andrews? No, I don't think so. Yeah, I was just about to say, like, is it the remains of Celeste Impacts, which she was keeping for legal reasons for the whole time? Like, her ashes were in the guitar case? Like, what? I don't think Adrian Andrews was in the guitar case. That makes no sense. In like, this conspiracy world, there being another Nickel Samurai costume makes sense to me suddenly. I don't get it. But it's one of the things that makes the most sense right now.
Take that!
Oh my god. There's no way. Okay, I guess I did work it out though. Thank you for the think about larger items prompt, Ozzy. They would accept 2 pieces of evidence? Oh, I'm very curious to see what happens now. Oh, Lotta's photo was also acceptable. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, okay. So I did work it out. I did work it out then. Okay. That we needed a... Okay, I feel good about that then. I worked out the logic that we needed a second. The costume hadn't been resolved yet. Okay. What's important is what's in this picture, Your Honor. In this picture. Doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I'm proposing is... inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume. Banger soundtrack. You mean ink? So true. What? Mr. Wrights, explain yourself. Right. Are you saying the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would that be doing something like that? That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews? I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea? Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starring for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get the shot, correct? You mean this photo? Oh, so I had made the erroneous assumption that she had been wearing it to get into the room. I had not considered he was... Like, what? Order! Order! It looks like we've walked into quite another mess again, haven't we? Nice job, Phoenix. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later. So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume. Wait 1 second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Manongod's. Why would something in the defendant's be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case of all places? True, that is a little baffling. Mr. Wrights, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What was this Nickel Samurai costume doing in the guitar case? So far, there's been nothing to contest the fact that On Guard was wearing the costume. I think it has to have been a second costume. Like, unless he got drugged. Like, there's no way she got the whole thing off him while he was sleeping. There being a second one to make it very convenient for her to visit Juan makes sense, honestly. Or to set up the framing. I can't imagine it was stolen from On Guard. Mr. On Guard did not take his costume out during break period. In that case, the costume we're talking about was a spare one. What? Then are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes in the Gatewater Hotel? Yes, that is what I'm saying. Let's go! And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case? It would mean the victim himself brought this spare to the ceremony on purpose. But why? The victim, Mr. Corridor, was the Jammin' Ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai spare costume with him? Hold on, the gears are turning. The confession was that... Wait. Maybe Juan was going to do the confession? And that's why Adrian and Matt didn't know about it? What could be the reason besides such a peculiar act? That, or... Yeah, absolutely. Every brain cell right now going full gear. So we got either that, or Juan's been, like, either coerced into or otherwise not getting credit for being the Nickel Samurai undercover, and he was going to expose Matt or something. And therein lies the sticking point. What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time with any sort of sense of an inner monologue? Huh? No, I just... Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume? Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer. Then answer with gusto. I believe in you. Is it gusto? 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 Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was... Gustav? How dare you? I have plenty of inner monologue, exactly. So, two things come to mind. Either it's for this weird press conference that they didn't know about, or it's a cover for Andrews, as per the affair thing. Those are the two things that make the most sense right now. I'm gonna start with this, because, like, this is weird. What is this? Yes! On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai is going to hold a special press conference. A press conference? Oh, a press conference? Yes, the Nickel Samurai is supposed to confess something at this conference. What about this as well? For once, you're not making something up right. But what struck me as strange was that Mr. Armgard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. But how can that be? The way I see it, that can mean only one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Korda himself. Let's go. The victim? Yes. The spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Korda was going to hold the conference as the Nickel Samurai. He was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference? But why would he do such a thing? Something I don't quite know yet, however. What I'm concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference. The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself. Which means that Juan Korda, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt Armgard. Yes, I guess that is what it would mean. But if that's the case... That's not a confession, that's public disclosure. Miss Andrews? I can see by your prose and what you do. Pardon me? Yes, just as you say, the conference was set up by Juan. What? Okay. Ms. Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this. I was the one he asked to help set it up. Oh. But if that's the case, he wouldn't have to have a killer Matt Armgard impression. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me. You! Juan had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure that Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway. He was going to ruin him, huh? It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. What? And do you know what the secret of Mr. Armgard's is, Ms. Andrews? Something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is. I see. I've probably becoming coming off quite suspicious to everyone, but that's to be expected. Been trying to protect Matt, after all. Protect Mr. Armgard? And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Ms. Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior. Yes, Your Honor, I understand. Holy cow. Okay, sure. Oh, this song is always... We're getting the lore now. What song is this? This is the lore song. The moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt I had to protect him. That doesn't count for everything. Well, I am the logical type. Finally seeing her true self. More nervous than a scared rabbit. FF3 Cave theme for libraries. Okay, cross-examination 2002 Allegro. Allegro version of the cross-examination theme. Okay, interesting. If the defense can find no false testimony, I'm ready to make a ruling. Moderato and Allegro, okay. Alright. And here we go. This means that the point waiting to this and turn her logic upside down. Oh, okay. Let's see if we have the presto. Interesting. Okay, here we go. Alright. Would you say this was your intuition speaking to you? Don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own. Ugh. You want to prove someone did something, you need 3 things. 3 things? A motive, an opportunity, and finally, decisive evidence. And if you think these 3 things through, the answer becomes quite clear. You should have already known that, Phoenix. They didn't teach that to us in the school, at least not from what I remember. May I continue now? Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. So would you say this need came from the press conference? Yes. Do you know why Juan chose that event in that hotel for the conference? Because that was when you could cause the most damage to the public's beloved Matt Enguarde. And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Ms. Andrews? Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume. Yeah, law school, Phoenix? They didn't teach you about motive, opportunity, evidence? But I'm sure Mr. Enguarde himself didn't know anything about the conference. Oh, really? Can you show me any proof he didn't know about the conference? Anyway, weak writer, Phoenix, right? The important thing here is the information was on your testimony. Yes, I agree. Ms. Andrews, please correct your testimony, if you please. Grasping at straws now, aren't we, Mr. Wright? Jeez. I know what his motive was, but I don't have any way to prove I'm right. Has Mr. Enguarde done something to hurt or betray you personally? Why do you ask? You were the one who held Mr. Corridor at this press conference. I'm not even supposed to bring down Mr. Enguarde, yet you still helped out. The person on trial right now was Mr. Enguarde, right? What the witness was thinking, helping the victim with this plan, is none of our concern. In any case, this means the defendant had a motive to kill. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Alright, here we go. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. Funk. But didn't you already testify earlier that Mr. Enguarde was taking a nap in his room? Are you telling me now that that too was a lie so you'd cover Mr. Enguarde? I'm not telling anything of the sort. When I went to get him for the show, he honestly was sleeping. However, as to whether he was sleeping the entire time, I cannot say. I was too busy setting up the stage at the time. I keep trying, but I can find no flaws in what Ms. Andrews has said. I can't say the same for some people here in this courtroom, however. The judge is glaring straight at Mia. He's glaring at you, smart guy. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage. Then, what about the button? The button? It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and the murderer fought, and during the fight, the killer ripped the button from the gem in Ninja's costume. You're talking about this button, correct? That button was found in the pleats of Matt's Hakama, isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence. Ugh. Looks like you were out Fox again, Mr. Wrights. Anyway, then it doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony. I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeats. Thank goodness me, I can still look at me. With an icy stare, yes. Ms. Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this to your testimony. Okay. And how do you know that the button was torn off during the fight? When the ends of the threads of the button and the costume were matched up, they were found to fit together perfectly, or so I heard. Heard that before too. But why would Ms. Andrews know about this case down to such a fine detail? Don't look at me like that, because I'm prepared and you're not. Ugh. Thought I had it this time for sure. Anything to trip her on, it has to be here, but where and what? But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt I had to protect him. But what you really did was stab the guy in the back, didn't you? And at the worst possible time. Who's to say she really stabbed the guy in the back, as you put it? This witness could have disclosed things at Mr. Ongard at any time. Why then would she wait until there was a large audience before doing so? It's the same reason why Mr. Corridor planned such an elaborate conference. Ms. Andrews wanted to cause Mr. Ongard as much damage as she possibly could. The witness bears ill will towards the defendant. This isn't the Phoenix Wright wax philosophical power hour. And please stop slandering the witness. So I expect that your testimony seems pretty solid. Really, because to me it seemed a little wishy-washy. Wishy-washy. You should know this by now, but you'll need strong evidence to make her talk. Got it, Chief. Alright. It's the button, I think? So what's up with... There's also this, like, weird thing, right? Where the vase didn't get knocked over during the fight, but everything else did? It's a little weird, right? So the dude was strangled and then stabbed with a knife? Like, where did the button come off? Just during the struggle? How was there blood on it? If it came off during the struggle, there should be no reason to be blood on it because the knife was planted like afterward to hide the real killing method and or to frame on guard. I don't get it. How is there blood on the button? I guess if you like stabbed him next to the button and there was blood on it and then the button came off in the process, but then it didn't come off during the struggle. You know what I mean? I feel like we're gonna save real quick and I'm gonna bring up that. Wait, what? Okay, that feels weird to me. Oh, you hate to see it. I did think, for what it's worth. I wish I had to spend like another 10 minutes on one piece of evidence, but maybe we should spend another 10 minutes. I kind of want to keep on this problem of mine. If not, we'll just reset the health bar. Okay. We'll just reload. It's a-okay. Just because, like, I wouldn't do it, but it's such a hassle to reload saves otherwise, so, like, you know, this is just for sanity reasons. There's no, like, they have to put the pressure of guessing wrong on so the game doesn't just, like, you can't just guess for free. But, like, there being game over penalties is very annoying, basically. Just sort of time wasters when on stream, especially, like, I just want to deal with it. Okay, so I think we're on the right track. This one's so weird. Yeah, I game overed in our hearts, that's true. My perfect record on this case. I thought we were doing great in the case, though. We technically haven't game overed yet. If we don't screw up again, we haven't game overed. We have 1 life right now, in theory. Let's press around this again. Okay, this is the, like... One sideways. How do you know that? When the ends were matched up, they were found to fit together perfectly. Why would she know about the details? Yeah, I'm confident this is it, but what? They hit her with the autopsy report? That seems a little weird though, right? Maybe this helps. I feel like I'm kind of grasping at straws right now. Which is like in the spirit of playing Phoenix Wright, but... there's no button here. Play in the spirit, that's fair. Grasping at straws is in the spirit, but the other thing we can maybe do is challenge the motive here. Be like, what was his motive? And we just go like, well, what's up with this? Then probably doesn't get us anywhere though. No contradiction. Did he have an alibi? No, he was just sleeping. Oh my god, I was right. Okay. That sucks, because, like, I was... Yeah. We have 1 health, technically, if we're playing by strict rules, so we're not dead yet. And, additionally, I got the logic right on this, so I feel good about this. This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf. Strangulation? The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died. And what does that mean? Okay, so I did get it right. Let's examine the evidence. The button has the victim's blood on it. Okay, so... Alright. That's... I'm chalking that one up on the adventure game noun-verb problem board. Because, like... Yeah, I got, that's what literally what I said. So, I only took an L there because I was right, but got the wrong button. Bad inputs, effectively. Which would mean he was ripped off of the costume. When? After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Exactly. Which means... it's impossible this was torn off during the victim's final struggle, because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Ms. Andrews. There is no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off of the victim's already dead body. Order! Order! What is the meaning? What is the meaning of this right? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim already died? What does that change? Well, let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did it serve? What purpose? We now know this button was not torn off during the fight, so the murderer took the time and effort to purposefully rip this from the victim's body. That would mean the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it? Mr. Wright, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with the button? What was it? Yes. Easy. Easy clap. Only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime, Mr. Ongard. There is no way anyone would put a bloodied button in their own pants. That's right. Mr. Ongard was set up. By the real killer, of course. And the real murderer is... Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer, then? Finally. I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point. Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet. Not until the very end. The real killer, the person who planned to frame Mr. Ongard, is... What? I'm percolating. I'm percolating a little bit. Because the obvious thing to say here right now is Andrews. But I don't know how that looks right now. If that pans out. I'm percolating on a new theory. Where this is like an elaborate plot. This is probably wrong. An elaborate plot by Juan where he commits suicide and then gets... No, it's insane. But like, imagine, right? He kills himself with the scarf. No, there's no way. It makes way more sense for it to be Andrews. Oh, really? Oh my god, Edgeworth? No. I mean, the most obvious one right now is Andrews. But what's her motive? To set up On Guard, right? Like, she's like, killing Juan, I get, but where is she framing On Guard? That's the thing I haven't quite figured out yet, unless she's being told to do so. Unless it's the Nickel Samurai. Because that would also seal the deal. Because, like, this is a big case. Yeah, I mean, like, we also got D-Killer in the mix here. Grasping at straws. I mean, right now, this looks like maybe the best way to go here is, like, whoever's in the costume, get it? So. Right. Which of these 4 doesn't belong here? Up, down, left, right. Right? Thank you. I feel much better. I'll be relieved to know you can at least pick that much out. I worry about you. Seem to fail every time you try to make logical sense. Oh, I thought we got it. That's my bad. Okay. Oh, I was excited. Okay. There's also D-Killer. This is like such a reach. Because he's the one trying to... Because D-Killer is ostensibly the one trying to get Matt acquitted. The specific request from D-Killer was get Matt acquitted. So if we implicate D-Killer... That seems insane. I mean, this was like the super obvious one is like, it was Andrew, she was in the room. But like, was she? My brain hurts. I'm surprised I didn't think this far ahead right now. Like, let's say Andrew, she was the only, she has like the most access to On Guard by a long shot. Ms. Adrian Andrews. I choose you. You are Mr. Corda's killer. What? Wait. Oh, I thought that was like way too obvious. Okay. Order, order. We already went over this. Did we not already say this? In the last part in 2-1? Mr. Wright, this is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge? Any evidence? All of the evidence points to Ms. Andrews. How preposterous. You can't stick any of that on me. I can't, can I? Would you care to test me? Then what about this knife? The knife was used to stab the victim after already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. Ongar, naturally. Called overthinking it? So true. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. Hold on. So I was right? It was the Steel Samurai. I mean, the Nickel Samurai. Only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you. Ugh. More glasses. Then what? What about the button that was found in Matsukama? This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. Only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. Onguard was the real killer, there is no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakama. Only person who could have put this button onto the Hakama is the person who went to wake him from his nap, which is you, yet again, Ms. Andrews. I see. What about the empty guitar case? All some of this evidence that incriminates Ms. Andrews. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known there was just such a costume inside the guitar case? So I was right. Could have only been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Ms. Adrian Andrews. No, But Ms. Andrews' fingerprints are nowhere to be found on the guitar case. And it was you who proved she was not wearing gloves at the time. That's right. Because she did not intend to leave any prints. Anyone had found out that she touched the case, they would have asked her why. So, to avoid leaving a print, she opened a towel, used a towel or something to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show that, yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. On top of it all off, there's this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable purpose person on Earth can believe this Nickel Samurai is Mr. Onguard. He would be much too short for his own costume if it were him. Speaking of how tall people are, Ms. Andrews, you're also kind of short in the stature, are you not? Please stop. Well, how about it, Ms. Andrews? I got her this time. Ms. Andrews? I refuse to testify. What was that? There's a law. It says it can testify something if it can incriminate me. Well, yes, you are absolutely correct, Ms. Andrews. The law does have the way to avoid self-incrimination. By allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves. What? Phoenix, come on, man. Law school. Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. Actually, thinking back yesterday, Mr. Onguard's room. Adrian Andrews. Oh, big Von Karma coacher. Yes? Think hard at what we just discussed, understood? Alright. That's it. That's when Francisca planted this idea into her head. She must have told Ms. Andrews to not testify if things looked bad. You did a good job for everything up to this point, Phoenix. But there's still one thing you haven't done. Something I haven't done. What's wrong, right? Are you finished already? We're out of evidence. What's so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor, but everything the good lawyer has proven up to this point is meaningless. What? Everything you've proven is circumstantial. Circumstantial? Yes, circumstantial. You've yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. Proof that Ms. Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Mr. Corrida. Ms. Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Corrida? I believe this may lead to me incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering. But Ms. Andrews, if you do that, it'll be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think? Maybe so, or maybe not. Nothing to prove it either way. Oops. Taking that defiant attitude again. Oh, I can't believe double tapped. Anyway, she was defending herself. Mia, what should we do? Somehow we've landed in the worst possible situation. I think we've reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Mrs. Adrian Andrews refused to testify. And the defense's theory that she's the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof. But that's not true. In this situation, there's only one thing this court can do, and that is to declare a recess. Recess? I request that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter. And at tomorrow's trial... Tomorrow? We don't have a tomorrow. If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then... Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial. Please continue the trial. What are you sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he? That's not it. It's not about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let the trial continue. Oh, well, please let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya... But it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refused to testify. Now then, this court is... What? Edgeworth? It is not impossible for the trial to continue. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you... It's true, Ms. Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination, however. If the topic of conversation were something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony. Yeah, that is very true, but actually, there is one little thing I'm curious about. Ms. Andrews, when you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes, and? I can't help but think how unnatural that is. Usually, when one finds a body, they're shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice. So my actions were unusual, but I've already... Before you speak, I want to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to that effect. Testify? Your Honor, I would like to request the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness. I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read off of him. Is he friend or foe? I just don't know. The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Ms. Andrews, if you please. When I found the body. Does anybody know how much longer this goes on for? Because it's been a long time on the video recording episode end. Like, are we just doing a mega episode? Or, like, do we have enough content left to cut this in half again? I should, I guess, stop a little earlier, huh? Another one after this one? Man. Is that enough content for another episode? Or do we just... Maybe we'll just leave 2-2 as it is. I don't know. It's a long boy. And coming soon? Okay. Alright. Alright. Well, you know what? We'll do it. If you're watching on YouTube and you didn't like the super long VOD, let me know. If you do like the super long VOD, also let me know. Let me know. If you're watching YouTube. If you're on Twitch, it's just a stream, so, you know. It doesn't affect the Twitch end. So if you're watching on the VOD, you come by the stream. But if you're watching on VOD and you prefer one VOD length or another, let me know. That glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in that messy state. And Juan, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, the thought he was dead didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice. When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over. Totally fair, yeah. Yep. Totally fair. So you poured that glass of juice for the victim. Why didn't you say so in your earlier testimony? Didn't think I need to include something so trivial. Phoenix, please be careful here. If you can't find anything wrong with the testimony, there's nothing left. Edgeworth, what is going on in that brain of yours? Now then, Mr. Wright, you begin your cross-examination. Alright, here we go. We're not going to rush, but we're going to maybe cut a little bit of the extra. I didn't really pour it for myself. But there wasn't else in the room, right? Of course not. Then who'd you pour it for? Mr. Wright? It's a rhyme and reason for everything. Okay, yes, I can wait just a little bit longer. In other words, Wright, be quiet and listen. Yes. Eeny, miny, dancing. I've done before inside Edgeworth's head. Absolutely. So it was a mess. Are you sure it wasn't messy because of your fight with Mr. Corrido? I understand your frustration in not being able to prove your theory, however. Before you go accusing people of crimes, go find yourself some evidence. Ugh. And then what do you see next, witness? Okay. Slumped over. Yes, he was just sitting there with his head tilted forward, eyes closed. He really looked like he was sleeping. Is it just me, or did that right there sound a little odd? There should have been like a knife sticking out of his chest. So like, when I saw him sitting like that, the thought he was dead didn't cross my mind. Then what did cross your mind? Thought maybe he had smashed everything up in anger because he lost the Grand Prix. And then felt tired after his rampage, just had to take a nap. Anyway, that's what I thought. I see. So you didn't think he was dead at all? To be honest, I thought he just fainted something, so I went to pour him some juice. I thought he fainted. Well, he was asleep at first, but then the room was in such a messy state, I thought maybe he got into a fight with someone. And that's when I had to pull the glass of juice. Yes, he always had a hard time waking up. So Juan always had a glass of tomato juice to drink. I see. After that, what happened next? when I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over. And how'd you realize that he was in fact dead? Shook him over and over, but I never got a response, so the glass down the dresser tried to take his pulse. I was shocked and staggered backward and knocked the flower vase over, so that's what happened. Yes. Alright, easy. Absolute end for both sides, and Adrian is letting her guard down. Phoenix, now is our best chance yet to kill the prosecution's case. A little bit harsh, Miss Andrews. So we told the truth this time? Yeah, we got it. I wonder if they'll accept the knife. We're gonna hit her with the photo, I think. I think the photo is more likely than the knife, but we could save either way. Just to be sure we don't have to restart again. Let's go. So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him? No, not at all. Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body? Ah! What is the meaning of this? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There's a knife sticking out of straight out Mr. Corda's chest. Anyone who saw this scene would have immediately thought that here was a dead man. That's... well, you see... Mako is the life juice of the planet. I doubt a single person in the world would mistake this for someone who fainted. And then so nonchalantly go pour someone to drink. Your point is, Ms. Andrews, your testimony right now was just one giant lie. Number 7, and your lie has proven one thing very clearly, that you are the real killer. No. It looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light, so the defendant, Mr. Matt Ongar, is not guilty after all. But that's impossible. You're wrong. Ms. Andrews, try to have some composure. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. So, she has a lot of pathos, like, in general here. And I do genuinely think she is maybe implicated in a larger crime. It's possible. She could just be the killer. But we haven't unraveled this impacts thing yet, and if it ends here right now, I would not be surprised that there's more to her involvement in the crime. It was Matt, I swear, he's the one who killed Juan. But you really refused to testify. And your reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating yourself. That's because... Ms. Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that might incriminate you? I refuse to testify. Then there is no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Matt Ongar's innocence has been clearly demonstrated. Is it over? Have we finally found the truth at last? No. What's wrong, Phoenix? Usually the real killer confesses their guilt. And now that I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't. I think I'm onto it here. I think so. I'll have to hand out my verdict, Mr. Matt Ongar. Oh, Edgeworth, please. Your Honor, the prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time. What? The reason is quite simple. This witness has yet to speak the absolute, real truth. The absolute, real truth? What are you... Witness, don't you understand yet? Huh? I don't know who planted the silly idea in your head, but as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Matt Ongar will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party. That's a lie. I don't believe you. What? I was told that if I spoke, it would be all over, and that Matt would never be declared guilty. What in the world is she talking about? Has she lost it? I can't speak about it, I'm too scared. She's making me very sad. It's Francisca von Karma. Huh? Don't you remember, Phoenix? Miss Andrews lives by gripping, tapping into the words of another. But she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself. Yeah, man, like, oh, yeah, I feel for Andrews right now. Then right now, Miss Andrews is... Yesterday, she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss Von Karma. Don't say a word no matter what happens. If you do, Matt Unger will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undyingly believes in those words right now and clinging to them. And what should we do? This is the first time I've ever come across anything like this. But Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? All we have to do is get our not guilty. That's my only priority. It wasn't me, I'm begging you. Please believe me, I didn't kill Juan. Help. Please, someone, help me. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. The court can't continue on like this. Therefore, I'd like to hear what you intend to do. What I intend to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say? Right, I suggest you think very carefully about this. Think about what this witness did and what she did not do. And think about who is the real mastermind behind this crime. Who's the real mastermind? Isn't that obvious? There's no one else who it could be except for the woman crying over there. Right? Come now. What will you do? What kind of man are you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? So, right now I'm going with my theory. I mean, I could be wrong. Right now, what I'm feeling is the theory from earlier tonight, which is that she was coerced into being an accessory to murder, but not the murderer herself, is my current thinking. I have to make a complete quote that there's no way around that, but I can't bring myself to do it like this. Not just making a face like that. Ms. Andrews, I would like to know what you're really hiding. Mr. Wright, are you sure you know what you're doing? Sure, Mr. Unger will get an acquittal, but in his place, do you be found guilty? Is this how you would really want this trial to end? Be quiet. How dare you? You're trying to trick me. That's enough. Commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear that the defense's theory is the truth. You're wrong. What a shame. I'd hoped things wouldn't come to this, however. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court. Stop. Mr. Edgeworth? This witness... How should I put this? She has an illness. What? And because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past. Stop, please stop. No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here. Don't be rude about it, Edward. But... That's the second part of the suicide report, the attempted suicide report. What will you do now, witness? Edgeworth is being cruel here, I think in an effort to actually get the real murderer flushed out. So let's run with it for now. You know what I'm about to do, don't you? I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews. Secret of her dependent nature. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world. I don't blame her! This is challenging! Don't, like, out her mental health right now. Oh my god. Please, please stop, I beg you. You will find out. You will find out, I'll... Yeah, exactly. He is, like, I think he is genuinely... He's, like, playing the heel to get her to like, help herself, I think is what's going on, which is clever. Brutal, but hopefully for the best in the long run. Fingers crossed. If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me. Edgeworth, how could you be so cold? Because I think he's trying to help her. Like, why else would he give this to Phoenix in the first place, right? However, before you die, I will pull the truth from your still breathing lips. No matter what I have to do. So, shall you tell the court yourself, or shall I? Either is fine with me. I'll talk, but please help me. Oh. Nothing matters anymore. Oh, my heart. My crime. When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted, honest. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with a knife and I ripped off the button. Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. And that's why I ended up using the nickel samurai costume. Okay. Stab the body with the knife, but why would you do that? Isn't it obvious to pin the blame on a certain person? A certain cowardly man. What do you mean by all of this? It might take this quote a little while to understand, but... this is the truth. The real killer is Matt. That scumbag of a man, I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time. Oh my god, was Matt involved with Celeste's death? Last time? So, Miss Andrews stabbed the victim, Juan Corrida, on the chest with a knife. However, she didn't do it with murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt on guard for the murder. And this is her crime. How is this possible? Yeah, oh, that's a good point, by the way, sure, yeah. That, like, he himself chose death. So, quote-unquote, so interesting. So, sort of a parallel for that, for him. I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer? Mr. Wright, please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination. Oh my god, 2-4 is amazing. My crime. Oh, I feel so bad. But you could tell from the state of the rooms and there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth when you said you did not know he was dead? He had a scarf tied around his neck, but the scarf was part of the Jammin' Ninja's costume, so I didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well. So when I thought I'd wake him up, went to pour the juice. When I realized he was dead, that's when I formulated my plan. What is this plan you had? I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because Juan was going to expose Matt's weakest weak point to the world. So Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good. That's when I thought I should forge some evidence to pin this crime on Matt. So the forged piece of evidence was the knife and the button. The first thing that came to my mind was to plant the knife. Interestingly, I said, like, on day one of the case that I thought Andrews could have set up the scene, but I thought there was some sort of, like, crazy conspiracy in play. I had not considered she could have just done this spontaneously, I don't think. Maybe at one point I threw that out, but I don't think I'd have been running with that at all. This was like a spontaneous framing for a different crime. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. That was to get the knife, correct? The knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. Matt was napping with his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with the knife and ripped off the button. So you were the one to stab the victim with that knife. It gives me goosebumps thinking about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. Then, when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I use the button somehow, I can make Matt look even more suspect. So you thought to rip one of the buttons off and then plant it in Mr. Ongo's Hakama. Yeah, that's what I planned to do, but things never go that smoothly, do they? Right? What inconvenience? An inconvenience. There was a woman with a camera at the ready, loitering in the hallway. My spikes, it was Lotta. My spikes. Also a woman with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth. Now it's old back for you. I'd already been caught and made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once, so I couldn't very well go out and looking at myself and get caught again. And that's why I ended up using the nickel samurai costume. You were the one who prepared that costume, weren't you? Yes, I took it from Global Studios. I also put it into Juan's guitar case the day before the awards ceremony. You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct? Yes. Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. Going to disclose Matt's big secret there. And what is the secret? That I don't know. Anyway, I thought if I were to leave Juan's room in the nickel samurai costume, people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints unopened in the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume. I think we've heard enough. So after that, I went back to Mr. Onguard's room and planted the button. Into Matakama, yes. After that, I folded the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. Then I snuck out of the hotel and got rid of it. My word, what does all this mean? Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt Onguard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk. Francisca, huh? But yeah, good point, Ozzy, there. The A1, the final boss, was Manfred von Karma, and here, so far, it's Nick's own morality, in his own, in like the spirit of the courtroom, as Edgeworth has been talking about it as well, in the pursuit of truth. She said that I should, under no circumstances, confess to what I had done. That if I just kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words. What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, as long as the testimony stands, we can be sure that she's not the real killer. Wait, Your Honor. The defense still... writes. It's pointless. At this point in time, it's not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything. Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. Cross-examination of this witness is over, and so is today's trial. You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wrights. But... Mr. Edgeworth, please place Ms. Andrews under arrest for further questioning. Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately. That is all. Court is adjourned for today. Today's trial, it's over. And I didn't win an acquittal. Witness, would you mind if I asked you something? Edgeworth? What is it? Before you leave court today, I wonder if I might look at one thing. The card in your hand has had my interest for quite some time now. What exactly is it? Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked about this. Although, I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remember just now. I found this in the room on that day. It's like a calling card? The room? That day. Yes. It was a calling card. How did you forget? Oh my god. I found this card when I discovered Juan's body. It was lying there right next to him. You found that card next to the victim's body? Suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. But it's not as if this has any relevance to Juan's murder, right? Yeah, I guess not. But it's still a strange card if you ask me. But as far as a clue to this case, I don't see why... Witness that card! Give it to me! Hurry! Edgeworth? Do you have any idea what you have stupidly yet inadvertently done? This... I can't believe you hid this from me all this time. I've never seen a foil land from 1995 before. I didn't mean to... Oh, Andrews. What is this all about? I've never seen Edward so emotional before. It's a calling card. That card, what in the world is it and what does it mean? Don't fade to black. No! I have to... Hold on. We'll talk on... The stream people will talk. Cliffhangered. Again, another amazing cliffhanger. People of YouTube, this is the end of the VOD. It's already been almost 2 hours. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully you enjoyed today's VOD. If you did, consider subscribing below to find more from me. Check out the playlist above for Ace Attorney. And come by the stream. Hang out with us live. I'll be playing Ace Attorney 3 at some point. So come on by. Hang out with us live. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Until next time, enjoy yourselves. Peace out.